But the biological difference between overweight
Hi,
and lean
everyone.
people is not the number of...
Good afternoon if you're joining us from Canada. Good evening if you're joining us from Nigeria or other part of the world. Good afternoon if you're joining us from USA. I'm just coming here quite earlier than time. I think I still have close to 5 minutes more. I just decided because people are already waiting, so I thought to start off. I'm waiting for my guest to join us. Once he does, I'm going to add him to this stream. We also have the immigration consultant from Essential Recruits joining us today. So this program is brought to you live by Mo Consulting for INE and Essential Recruits in Halifax here in Canada. And like you rightly have seen the thumbnail, we're going to be talking about securing those jobs with sponsorship in Canada. How are you doing, Daniel? So good to see you today.
Already, I'm good.
I'm good. So we're live already because I started earlier.
Cool.
Yeah, this is my guest. Yes, Daniel, I already told them that you're single and that you're a big boy in Canada calling the shot. So in case your DM is on fire after today, man, no day.
No, you cause problem, but
So
thank you for inviting me
this
on the
is
platform as
Daniel.
well.
He's going to introduce himself once it's time. Hi, Abigail. Thank you so much for joining us today. Please, before we proceed, kindly like this video. I just discovered that when we do live sessions, we have over 100 people. And then when I finish, I have 20 likes. I'm like, what's happening? So please like this video. That would help YouTube to show it to other nurses that will benefit from this. That will help the algorithm to show this video. Hi, Kabirat. Thank you so much. Hi, Eno. Missy, thank you so much for coming. So yeah, please like this video. We are close to 50 already in the studio. Kindly like this video before we proceed forward. And tell your friends that we're live. Hi, Prince. Welcome. Thank you for joining us. So we'll start in 1 minute's time. Hi, Toyin. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining us today. So Daniel, can you please introduce yourself to us?
Okay. Good afternoon, good morning, good evening, depending on where you're joining from. My name is Daniel Moka. I'm co-founder of Essential Recruit, or ER. We pretty much started this journey of nurse recruitment over 10 years ago. I used to be a recruiter for clients in the UK, so I was able to place a lot of nurses for 8+ years in the UK. But there was something that was missing in that equation, and it was the fact that it was quite difficult to handle all the volumes of applications that I had to take charge of. And essentially, that's where the idea for Essential Recruit was born. So when I moved to Canada in 2021, after 4 years living in China, I decided that it was time to create a platform that could really help nurses come to Canada, because I realized that the Canadian system was one of the most difficult to understand and to navigate as well. So that's what Essential Recruit was created to do. So Sylvia and I came together to create this platform to help nurses find, attract, and then retain as well. Coincidentally, Demi just joined the session. Demi is one of the very first people that believed in the vision that we had at Essential Recruit, and she didn't just talk the talk, but she walked it as well. She put down the first investment that we had. I know we had this conversation, pretty much, let's say, an hour conversation in a hotel room very close to Halifax Airport sometime last year. And she was very gracious enough to give us the first money that we used to put together to develop the platform and get it to where it is today. But that is a little bit about myself. And I would also let Demi also introduce herself to the rest of the team.
Hello, everyone. Thank you very much for giving the opportunity.
Hi, Demi. Thank you so much for joining us today. So glad to finally meet you. How you doing?
Nice meeting you too.
Yeah.
Although we're far from each other, but we're still connected.
Yes.
It was a pleasure for meeting all of you today, and on a beautiful sunny weekend afternoon. I myself is an immigration consultant. I have been practicing immigration in Canada for the past 17 years. Most of my practice was with the corporate, and about 30% with individualized. Immigration itself is very challenged in terms of the labor needs in Canada, different time that the Canadian government attract different professions, and also like there's also because of politics and people coming to Canada. But overall, for the past many years, all the immigrants come to Canada for the only sole purpose is to have a better life, right? As an immigrant myself, as a citizen of Canada, these couple years due to the COVID, and also we're also facing lots of labor shortages in all aspects of the industries. Healthcare in particular became very challenged and very needed due to this kind of change of the pandemic. This session, I want to express myself not only how much Canada needs you, but also that for yourself, you're coming to Canada for a better life. And there's also lots of opportunities. There's a lot of chances for you to seeking life for yourself and for your children. And then because you're in the health industry, this is the best time for these health professionals to choose Canada. And then there's pathways for all the provinces, and these health industry that they attract the workers in all aspects, not only just the personal support worker, nurses, there's physicians, dentists, physicians, all kind. So with the help with more consults and also your, we were together. We make the project, the dream come true, and we'll come to Canada.
Thank you so much, Jamie. Thank you so much. So we'll just dive right into it quickly, now that we have all the guests introduce themselves. Thank you so much, everyone, joining us today. We have close to 100 people already in the studio. Thank you so much. So we're just going to please like this video as you join us, so that it can help YouTube to show this video to others that would need this session. So yes, Danielle, can you please tell us a little bit more about Essential Recruit?
Okay, so Essential Recruit is pretty much a talent acquisition software that we have created to help health systems like long-term care homes and hospitals.
Daniel, is it possible that you have your lights on, because they said they can't see your face?
Oh wow. Okay, let me adjust that and I'll come back to this just 1 second.
All right, thank you. Hi, Jamie. So, Jamie, let's quickly talk about the immigration pathway. What immigration pathway do you think nurses can really benefit from when it comes to immigration?
Okay, I think the best immigration pathway is coming as a personal support worker first. I know lots of the audience here today has experience as a nurse or special nurse or ER nurse. I know this is all like what you're looking for, the pathway you are achieving eventually, but I think the step in occupation for this pathway is coming as a personal support worker, which is has the lowest requirements for immigration purpose. While you're practicing personal support worker, and then you can gain experience in terms of to achieve or convert your profession from abroad, that from nurse to the Canadian nurse. In Canada, all these health industry professions, they all have lots of requirements in terms of you need a certificate or designation for different provinces that you're practicing. It seems like a driver's license, right? You get your driver's license in one province, and then if you want to go to another province, you needed to convert it. Same thing. Some provinces are very easy. Some provinces need an extra test. But it's a personal support worker as the entry level, the minimum requirements, occupation, and the most needed one. I want, I think that's the entry point as a professional, as a nurse. Yeah.
Thank you so much. So, yes, I quite agree with that when you talk about lowest entry points for personal support workers. Yes, but are there, like, okay, so under Essential Recruit, do we have that platform to bring people in as PSWs or just nurses?
Yes.
Let me answer that question.
All right, thank you.
At the moment, we are able to bring nurses on as PSWs or CCAs. But this week we just had a very good conversation with one of the biggest employer of healthcare labor in Atlantic Canada, and one of the requests that they've made is for us to have a stream dedicated strictly for care workers and personal support workers. So that is something that over the next couple of weeks, we're going to be opening a new side of the portal dedicated to caregivers. So if you know any of those family or friends, just let them know that very soon we'll be making an announcement. I'll be creating a portal specifically just for caregivers, PSWs, and CCAs.
Oh, that's amazing. That's awesome. So welcome development. I love it. Thank you so much. Yeah. So yes, you were telling us about Essential Recruit before, like giving us a download of
Yes.
what you really do. Yes.
Yes. So Essential Recruit is a talent acquisition software that we've created to help health systems like long-term care homes and hospitals to find, attract, and retain skilled healthcare workers, but starting with nurses. We're starting with nurses because, like I told you earlier, I have 8 years plus of, years of experience in recruiting nurses for clients in the UK. So it was only right that we started with nurses. But as we grow and as we scale, we're going to be including not just only nurses, but we're also going to be including caregivers, doctors, pharmacists, and all of that, all the whole 9 years down the line. So think of us pretty much like Indeed. I know everybody knows Indeed.com, and a lot of people in Nigeria, you probably know Jobberman. So it's pretty much like Jobberman, but on steroids, if you know what I mean. It's going to be it's a platform that we're not just looking at just where people post jobs and apply to jobs. We're taking a holistic approach to it, where we're looking to power human tech approach to hiring and retention, where we look after your end-to-end needs. So you go, you find a job, but we also take care of giving you tips and resources that can help you succeed in that job, help you land that job in the first place, and help you also navigate through the complex immigration systems. And that's why we have someone like Demi and the rest of our team as a part of us as well, because we wanted to ensure that we give the best quality of service to anyone that is going through the platform as well. But beyond just helping you find a job and helping you come to Canada if you're outside, or move between provinces if you're in Canada, one of the key things that we place a lot of emphasis on is retention. And right now we don't have that part of the platform fully built, but I can assure you that once you go through our onboarding process, there's a part where you see retention. There was a reason for it, because we're collecting all the necessary data to understand how to support healthcare workers in order to help them settle into communities. And just to give you a little bit of an insight into some of the features that we're working on something that can help you, that can provide support for your mental health. So if you need someone to speak to, someone to just that you just need to onboard in or unload some of the stress that you've had, we're going to have something on the platform over the next couple of months that you can also access through the platform. Another thing that we've also been doing, even for the nurses that started getting jobs through the platform, is that we've been speaking to employers to also help them and let them start looking for ways to contribute towards a down payment for nurses to get houses. Because I think it's very important that if you say you need these people and you want them to come, we need to start looking for ways to let them feel like, you know what, I want you here, so I'm going to do this, go the extra mile to make you feel welcome. And mortgages and housing is one of the most important things for us. We want to allow anyone that comes here to be able to settle in, own their own home in no time, as well as get their citizenship. So these are some of the things that ER exists to do. But we just launched in February, so there is still a lot of learnings for us. There's still a lot of things that we can do better. And even with the new nursing license policy for Nova Scotia that came in, it really showed us that there was still a lot of work that we needed to do, because we've had a surge of accounts being created and we didn't plan for it. But now the tech team is working to ease out any instability. But for anyone who is trying to create accounts as well on the platform, I would just say, just try to use your laptops and desktop devices, because it seems like the mobile part of the platform is still undergoing some changes and it's still unstable. So if you need to create an account and apply to jobs, try to access it through your computer. But in a nutshell, that's what Essential Recruit is. It's a platform that we've created to enable you find, come, and settle in Canada.
Thank you so much. Honestly, yes, Essential Recruit is packed. I cannot wait for us to, bring this vision to, it's already live, but I mean implementation and seeing it all work together for everyone. Imagine mortgage, accommodation, mental support. That's really awesome. Peace, Missy, are you available to join us in the studio? If you're available, I can send you the link. I'm sorry I didn't ask you. I just remembered I didn't ask you earlier. So let me know if you're available. Somebody asked a question now. So usually I do questions after the old talks, but I feel that so that we are just, doing everything together. Somebody asked this question. I don't know if Demi would react to that before we proceed. So which pathway is recommended for someone who has passed 30 years, considering the fact that EE drops 1 point with 5 for age?
Okay, talk about this system, express entry system. The points to be dropped will be only the age, but there's a lot of other factors that you can gain points that can overcome the age. For example, if you're getting which are called human capital, that's give you an example of Novascotia. It's human capital means that you are in express entry pool and you're in the nurse healthcare category, and then you're meeting the requirement of the province, and that the province will pull you out from the pool, giving you an invitation saying that apply under this category, this job occupation, and will, if you meet the requirement of our province, we'll give you actual 600 points. With that 600 points, you're definitely going to be selected through the express entry procedure, and which is, you will never get expired. And then the express entry is still the most fast and efficient way to get you permanent residence. Alternatively, there's other programs called provincial nominee programs. These programs had some of the province with the point system, some of the provinces just the occupation restrict program. So they are usually not counting the age as a majority of the point system. Then you can get over with. Alternatively, back to the express entry system, the other gain factors that you can have is Canadian experience. Once you enter Canada as a temporary worker with a work permit, and then you will get after 1 year of experience, you gain about 15 to 20 points, assuming that your English level is unchanged. But if you get better English and then you do the combination of the point, you're likely to get more than 50 points extra. There's also a way called labor market impact assessment, which means that your employer in Canada will send requests for the labor market assessment to the Service Canada, and will say, I'm definitely hire you upon you get your permanent residence, and then you get 50 points on top of what you have in the express entry pool. So all these ways are can overcome your age your age increase, but in our mind, in the next couple years or two, I hope your age just grow 1 or 2, but your points with the working experience in Canada is definitely make you become a permanent resident. So that won't be a big issue for us. I hope I answered your question.
Yes. I hope she's answered because I know I heard about, you said provincial nomination, you mentioned LMIA, labor market impact assessment. I'm not sure I got the third one. So, but if I'm going to do provincial nomination, I think I have to go through express entry, right? Or I can do it separately without express entry?
You can do it separately.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, this express entry is a federal program, and then a provincial nominee is a provincial agreement with the federal. So as long as the province nominated you, you can do it different ways after you get nomination certificate, and you can apply for the permanent residence to the immigration afterwards. So it's a two-step procedure.
Oh, I see. So is there a separate link for provincial nomination if I'm going to
It's a separate link. Provincial nominee and the express entry is separated.
Oh, I see. I never knew that. Oh, I see. Oh, okay. So, okay, maybe after the show, if I'm able to get a link from you, I can, put it in the description of this video for people that want to check it out.
Sure.
IMO Consulting, IPs rather. I'm using Imo Consulting today. So, IPs, how you doing?
I'm all right. How are you guys?
Fine, thank you. That's my partner. Okay. So somebody asked the question here. We'll answer this one, then we'll now go back to Daniel to give us more briefing on ER. Will Atlantic immigration pathway be recommended for nurses pursuing Nova Scotia? What is the difference between express entry and Atlantic immigration pilot programs? Jamie, did you get that?
Yeah, I got you. So, will be recommended for nurses in Nova Scotia? Yes, it is. What's the difference between express entry and AIPP? Both federal programs. But express entry is targets for all over Canada except Quebec. And then AIPP is only the 4 Atlantic provinces. That's the main difference. And if you're looking at Nova Scotia, then of course the AIP has a lower requirements than the express entry. However, if you're young, you're good English, you're good experience, and you get work job offers, express entry is much faster in processing time. I hope I answered the question.
Oh, okay, I see. This is the last question we'll take. Then we'll go. Then Daniel will take over till we'll get another immigration. Now, does it mean that work permits pathway? What do you mean by work permits pathway? Medcare? Do you mean LMIA? If it's LMIA, yes. If you mean LMIA, what do you mean by work permits pathway? Gives a nurse about 4 years to apply for passport. I don't get your question. Do you get the question, Daniel? Did anybody get the question? Peace.
I think I'll answer that question. I think we're talking about no and no. First, the work permit itself, it's usually we give up to 2 to 3 years maximum to start with. And then pathway means from the work permit towards to the green card, which we call the permanent residence. Okay, having a passport means that's a citizenship. Citizenship is the calculation of how you become citizenship is for the days that you live in Canada after you become a permanent resident. So it's not really connect to each other. Our priority for this seminar today is how to bring you to Canada with the work permit and how to help you from work permit to transfer to be a permanent resident of Canada. And if you want to become a citizen and you want to cheer for Canadian team, Maple Leaf team, then we'll have to talk about that in another session.
Thank you so much. Yes, so back to Daniel. So how do you think essential recruit can be of ultimate benefit to the community of internationally educated nurses? I think you already answered that.
Yeah, but I can also still add to that. And to be honest, I consider myself...
Guys, excuse me for like 5 minutes, but you can answer your question. I want to get the rapper to back this boy. It's not allowing me to concentrate.
Okay.
Please take over. I'll be back in 5 minutes.
Okay. So yes, as I was saying, I consider myself a nurse that never trained as a nurse, just because of the fact I've just interacted with so many nurses, and nurses always have a very dear place in my heart. And that's essentially why we created Essential Recruit as well, to be able to provide that support to the community. And not just by providing them jobs, but providing them a holistic package to enable them come to Canada. And the reasons why we don't even charge a fee for nurses to use our platform is because we do not believe that nurses need to pay to get the jobs or settle in communities or actually also get retention as well. So that's why we do not expect you to pay a subscription fee, although there are other fees that you might need to pay if you decide to go through the do some immigration paperwork with us. But to use the platform or to get a job, we'll never ask you for a fee, and that's how the platform is going to be for the rest of its existence. But beyond that, our goal is to not just be able to provide you jobs in Canada. Over the next couple of years, we have plans to expand to the US as well as the United Kingdom, as well as Australia, so that nurses on the platform would have access to different opportunities. So even if Canada doesn't work out at this time, be rest assured that we're going to keep on working hard day and night to make sure that we're going to open new markets and help you facilitate that journey. We do not want you to have to pay ridiculous amount of monies to agents to get jobs or to come bring your family over. So we'll be working day and night to be able to open these partnerships or this expansion across different countries so that you can have a variety of options to choose from.
Pretty amazing. I like the fact that we are not limiting this to just Canada. So everybody signed up on the platform, you have options. So just perhaps because every pathway won't be for everybody. Sorry, I'm panting because I ran upstairs. So, but we have options. We have something for everyone. Let me put it that way. So I think that's another huge benefit for Essential Recruits. Thumbs up. Thank you so much, guys. So let me, people are asking questions. Just hold on, we'll answer your question. So yes, the platform, is it for nurses only? Although you mentioned that we're adding PSW, care worker and all that. So I think we got that. So the platform is not for nurses only. But currently, we've not added that feature, have we?
No, so currently it's strictly for nurses, but we're also able to bring nurses on as CCAs or PSWs. However, like I said, we're hoping to get a letter of intent in the coming weeks from one of the biggest employers of labor in Atlantic Canada to be able to hire CCAs, which are continuing care assistants for those people who don't know. So if you have family members who are caregivers or who have experience in that, and they're looking for opportunities to relocate as well, they should just keep an eye out or help them keep an eye out on the platform, and we'll let you know once we're ready to kick off that aspect of the platform as well.
Please give me the website so that I can type it in the comment section for people.
Absolutely. So the website is www.essentialrecruit.careers.
Essential Recruit. You can take it down, please. I'm also writing it essentialrecruit.careers, right?
Yes.
With an S.
Yes, with an S.
Okay. So that's it. That's the website, www.essentialrecruit.careers. Zion, keep quiet. So that's it there. Then somebody asked, let me see, somebody asked the question here. I just wanted to quickly take that. So how do we reconcile the BC and NS program on board, knowing fully well they are not helping in immigration and this type of immigration pathway you are bringing, also financial aspects? Well, if I understand your question well, that's why we're organizing this program. They are not helping with immigration, but we're bringing you a platform that can give you that immigration, that can assist you with immigration. So Omar, do you understand the main motive of bringing this program? So that's why we're bringing this program to you, so that you can use Essential Recruit platform to get yourself those jobs and the immigration support that you need. This is our immigration consultants live with us in the studio. So then you said financial aspects. We are not going to ask you for money. I think you mentioned something about if you need other services, but if you need to sign up for a job on the platform, it is free. Am I right?
Yes, absolutely. So we're never, you can put us on record that for the existence of the platform, we'll never ask you to pay to get a job through the platform. However, there are certain fees that if you want to, it's optional, but we also try to pass on those fees to employers, but not every employer is willing to take on those fees. So in that case, if you have to pay for your paperwork through the platform, we can provide that service to you. Demi, Sylvia, my co-founder, who's not here at the moment, and the rest of the team at MicroPro and under Essential Recruit as well, we have so many years of experience, in immigration. So you're going to be able to get the best quality of service at the best price possible. And we'll always keep on working to make sure that we give you the best price as well, because it's very important for us that we do not put something that is cost prohibitive to nurses. We want you to be able to access it. We want you to come over. So we're going to do our best to make sure that we're able to provide you the best possible service at a very good price as well.
Thank you so much. So somebody is asking a question here. Are we still passing through express entry for immigration for Novascotia pathway? Are we writing IELTS for immigration process for this new pathway? I'll react to that, then I'll call Demi to add to it. I have said it several times without number. I don't know how else to pass information to Nigerian nurses and to people generally. Novascotia is only easing off the licensure process. They are not responsible for you to come to Canada, except you get a platform like Essential Recruit that is going to help with that. And that was why I thought this is the best time to have Essential Recruit introduced to the audience that I have. because Nova Scotia is not, they're only going to issue your license. You are sorting your immigrations yourself. So if you're able to benefit from Essential Recruit right now, you might just be among the lucky ones. And plus, Essential Recruit is for everyone. If you want UK, just perhaps Canada is not, visible for you. We're going to be adding other countries, which I know that would now make a lot of people benefit from it. So I hope I've cleared that part. So, Demi, please tell us when IELTS come into play when it comes to immigration.
Yeah, language is definitely essential for all immigration programs. Not only because the Canada government have to make sure what you're doing is you understand the law and you obey the law. The work field that you're staying, the main environment is English or French. So definitely the language is essential. IELTS or CELPEP are the currently two official scores that Canadian immigration accept from third party as an assessment of your language skills, and then still remain valid. It depends on which program you're going through. If you have a higher language skill, then you can go through express entry and you get selected really fast. However, if you cannot meet that high language scores, then you can still have alternative pathway, go through provincial nominee. Overall, after a few years of experience, you can be exempt from language tests if you want to pursue with a nursing designation, but that is on the other side of the paperwork. Is not the one that you're applying for immigration. Like long story short, yes, IELTS is still needed.
The immigration pathway that does not require IELTS. I think you mentioned provincial nominee. I think immigration pathway that does not require IELTS. That I don't need to write English test for that particular immigration pathway. Are there anyone like in that category? Do you understand my question?
You mean that
are there immigration pathways that I do not require language test for?
That's for you to get the initial work permit. But if you're coming to as a permanent residence, yes, you probably eventually have to take it. Okay. You can choose to take it within Canada.
Okay, but I'm saying that a immigration pathway that does not require me to write English language test.
So what Demi is saying is that if you're applying to come as a work permit or LMIA, you do not require an English test. Just to confirm, Demi, that's what the
because people depends on where you're coming from, right? If for this, if a practicing nurse, in general, we require level 6 of the IELTS equivalency to have the immigration to believe that you can perform the duty as a nurse in Canada. So it's still standard. But if you're coming from English-speaking country, and then the English, they don't use it to exam you for the work permit application. So you can come in without taking a test. However, if you want to pursue with your permanent residence, yes, because people from America grow up in America, people grow up in England, they also have to take the test. It's just like for the program requirement.
Thank you so much. Yes, I think she has answered that question. Yes, so for the labor market impact assessment, you do not necessarily need English language test for that. So if you need that support, let us know. You can send me a GM if you need that support. How do we join the platform? I already pinned the www.essentialrecruit.careers. Am I right? I hope I'm right.
Yeah, yes, essentialrecruit.careers, and please try to use your desktop or laptop.
I'm going to also pin I'm going to put it in the description box. I want to adjourn. What happens if I'm successful with the immigration process but do not have conditional license via the expedited pathway? Well, I did not have a license when I came into Canada. It's just of recent that we have things changing. I didn't have a license when I came into Canada. So you can still come into Canada without a license. When you get here, then you start the process. And with us at Essential Recruit, we have that in place. In conjunction with more consult. Sorry, my son is Mokonsot, if you are here, please continue for me.
Okay. Sorry, Ife. Right. So just like Ife said, definitely you can come into Canada if you've already sorted your immigration pathway, and then when you come in, you can then try to get your license either through the conditional license, or you can try and get the full license. If you're talking about the conditional license via the expedited pathway with Nova Scotia, you can still continue pursuing that. Like, you can start the application before you leave your country, your home country, and then hopefully by the time you come into Canada, you would have moved ahead in the steps that you need to take. And even if you don't get your license, I'm pretty sure you can work as a PSW in the meantime, or CCA, like they call it in Nova Scotia. So you can start off working as that while you're waiting for your conditional license or your full license. And another thing we've been preaching is that get your NCLEX sorted. So if you're waiting and you don't have your NCLEX sorted yet, that would be a great opportunity for you to start sorting your NCLEX, because with the NCLEX, you would not even need a conditional license. You're going to get your full license. So yeah, come into Canada, sort your NCLEX while you're waiting for a conditional license, or just get a job as a PSW or a CCA, and hopefully with time you will get your full license.
I hope we have answered that question. So this one, is it IELTS general or academic?
General is mostly useful one.
She said no update. Somebody said she has subscribed to Essential Recruit for over 2 months, but no update yet. Yes, so I was going to ask Daniel, tell us what is expected. So when I sign up on the platform, what do I expect? After signing up, what are the expectations? What should I be expecting? And what do I need to have?
Okay.
Like
once you sign up, there are a couple of jobs that you can apply to. Once you apply to those jobs, to be honest, we're not the ones that do the shortlisting. So it's depending on the employers for them to decide when to shortlist. So if you've not had any updates, it's because the employers have probably not started shortlisting, because if they've shortlisted, you would know for sure, because once they move you through the employer dashboard, once they move you through the system, you will definitely get an email to notify you if you've been rejected, or if you've been requested for an interview, or if you're in consideration. So if you've not had any updates yet, if you've applied for a job, it's because the employers have not started shortlisting, or you're going to shortlist soon. So just be patient, but just apply to as many jobs as you can that interest you on the platform. And once that time comes, you will definitely get a notification. But in the meantime, once you go through the onboarding questions and complete your profile, you'll most likely notice that you have a star assigned to your profile. So there's a green, yellow, and red star, and this is what we call the traffic light system internally. The traffic light system helps us to give employers an estimated time that you'll be able to begin working with them. But this answers are based on the answers that you give through the onboarding process and the submission of some documentation that we've asked from you as well. So if you submit all the documents that we ask, put in as many specialties as you have, upload a video of yourself, or just a video just showing a good personality of yourself. It doesn't have to be you sat at the desk and say, my name is blah, blah, blah. It can just be a video that really shows your personality or shows the passion for your job, because those things really help to make recruiters like, you know what, I actually do like this person. I'd like to bring them over as well. So if you do all of those things and you have a star assigned to it, recruiters are most likely going to start reaching out to you even as quickly as they can as well. And once your stars is either red or yellow, you have nothing to fear. There's no discrimination as well. We still have people that have been invited for interviews and have also been given offers even without a green star. But for us, and I think this is something that we've been working internally as well, with even more consults, there's going to be support that we provided to you in order to help you understand what you need to do to upgrade to the green star. You know, the documentation you need to provide. We can work with you to make sure that you have the resources needed to be very attractive as well to employers over here. Please remember that it's a highly competitive landscape, you know, and even with the Nova Scotia pathway, with the registrar of the College of Nursing was just on the news this week saying they had 9,000 applications. So you can imagine the amount of people that are looking for jobs here. So it's highly competitive. So you need to be able to put your best foot forward. So you need to be able to make sure that you have the right documentation. You need to make sure that your profile looks really good. You know, upload these videos, put your documents in there, put all the specialties that you have, you know, highlight these things and show yourself as the person that they need to be speaking to bring over. And I know for sure that if you have all of this stuff going for you, in no time, there are always going to be more jobs being uploaded to the platform. So even if you don't get accepted for one, there are several other jobs that we're going to be posting over the next couple of weeks on the platform that you can also take advantage of. And I hope that answered the questions.
Daniel, I just have a follow-up question. Sorry if does that mean that nurses can apply to more than one job at the same time?
Absolutely. Like just treat Essential Recruit like Indeed or any of the other job platforms that you know out there. You know, like when you go on Indeed or you go to Jobberman, you don't just apply to one and then keep quiet. You know, like you apply to several ones that you think you're a good fit for. But I think it's also very important that you pay attention to the specialties that employers indicate that they're looking for. You know, so if you see some of the specialties that they're looking for and you have specialties there, yeah, you can apply to it. And to be honest, even if you don't have that's those specific specialties, I'll still encourage you to apply, because sometimes they might not even know that they need a particular specialty, you know, but they might see it on your profile and be like, oh, you know what, this person has a specialty in mother and child care or something, or medical or surgery, and they're like, you know what, I think I have someone in my facility, or I have this in this hospital, we're looking for someone that has the specific experience, and they might just reach out to you for an interview as well. So the most important thing is just make sure that you have all your specialties updated on your profile, and always keep going back to update. If you have a new skill, if you have a new certification, just keep updating it, because that profile page that you have is essentially your resume. So we've taken the liberty to help you create a one-pager resume, you know, from your onboarding questions, so you don't have to create new resumes. So that profile is what is being sent to recruiters. So once recruiters see this and see all the specialty stuff, I've been actually shortlisting on behalf of employers, and I've seen the kind of things they look out for. You know, sometimes they open a profile, there's no profile picture, but it's still not a compulsory to put a profile picture. But I've seen that more oftentimes than not, people that have really interesting videos that show their personality and their profile picture up there, they're more likely to say, you know what, I like this person, the way they look, I like their specialties, I like they feel positive about it, and they're like, you know what, let's just invite this person for an interview. So the most important thing here is feel free to apply to as many jobs as you can, but more importantly, make sure that your profiles are up to date and well tailored to meet the job that you're also applying for as well.
Thank you so much. Yes, actually, it's very competitive, like you have said. Everywhere is competitive, so you have to be the one to, you know, set yourself apart by doing. I tell people all the time, if you want to set yourself apart, you can't do what everyone is doing. You have to find a way to, you know, be creative about things. Your profile picture, let it be very professional. You know, there should be spotlight on your resume, on your profile, something to attract me if I am an employer. So thank you so much for that, Daniel. Somebody has a question. Do I need IELTS if I'm passing through Novascotia conditional license pathway? Please react to that.
No, as far as we know, you don't need IELTS exam, but you have to be in one of the designated coming from one of the designated countries. So that's the requirement right now, and that's what we know. So other than that, I can't really say much. It's a no for now. I don't know if they're going to change that, but as far as we know, no, you don't.
Okay, thank you. If I provided with provisional license and I'm applying for immigration, do I need to still meet Canada's score of? Okay, well, yes, provisional license will not say you should not meet up with Canada immigration criteria. Or Jamie, am I wrong? Do you get the question? Can you react to that question?
If you provide with the provincial license, I'm applying for immigration. Do I need it to meet Canada? No, I think that's a CLB level. Should be lower than that. It will be CLB 7, which is like being converted to the factors. It will be around the 6-ish.
Okay.
But however, if you get a higher score, you get a higher chance to be nominated or being selected or being invited to apply. Yeah.
Yeah. So to add to that, what I think the person also wants to know is that if they have gotten the provisional license,
Yeah.
if they're applying for immigration, do they still need to meet the criteria of the English language test? Perhaps they're going through the general or which of the pathways that requires English language test. So what I'm saying to that is, of course, you still need to meet that requirement because professional license does not rule out the fact that you still have to, or peace, am I wrong? You still have to meet that criteria.
Yes.
No, you're not. Oh, sorry. You're
That's
not wrong.
yeah.
I think people need to stop connecting the licensure process to the immigration process.
Immigration,
Once
yeah.
we do that, we'll be able to get rid of all of this confusion. So
Mhm.
and another thing is that people are talking about temporary license or provisional. How do they even say that? Temporary license is only because you haven't passed your N class, and
Yeah.
they're giving you that as an opportunity for you to prepare to pass your N class. So please, work on passing your N class instead of just getting stuck on a temporary license when you can get a full license. And by the way, employers will be more likely to pick a person with a full license than a person who has a temporary license. So please, it's best for you to work on getting your full license by passing your N class.
Thank you so much. Can I use words for my credential assessment for express entry as a nurse? Demi, what do you have to say?
For immigration purpose, if it's for the education, like a level, like a master degree or bachelor degree or a college diploma degree, yes, WES that can work. However, if it's used for designate your licensing, no, it's not for WES.
Okay. All right. So we have over 100 people in this studio, close to 200, and we have just about 70 likes. Please like this video. Please, please, please like this video. Thank you so much. It's very important that we like this video. Is it possible for us to get work visa without IELTS? I don't know. Is it that we don't like to write IELTS?
It's the same as what the other speakers mentioned about obviously separated to immigration and your licensing requirements. The licensing pathway it designated for certain countries. These countries, the English is your national language, so they automatically approve you. Consider your language levels meeting the requirement for the job because those designated countries like Philippines, Indians, U.S., England, Jamaica, those countries, English is your national language. So it's no doubt for people coming from those countries with the designation can meet the job requirement. However, if you approve to want to approve for immigration, that as I mentioned, even people born like the first language in English, they have to go through the same standard test, which is the IELTS. Getting the work visa, it's same scenario. If people from China or Japan, for them to come practice as a nurse, of course, immigration want to see their language levels because they don't know whether they know they've been practiced as a nurse, but they don't know whether they can practice in English environment. So I would request a language test from people from all those countries. I don't know how your English level is, and I don't know which countries you're coming from. But if you're coming from English as a national language country, and all your education went through using English or French as the main language that's taught you for this licensing or education, then I don't see you necessary to provide IELTS as one of the mandatory requirements. However, if you're coming from the country, as I mentioned, that not English is not a common language in your daily life or practicing, then I would suggest that you provide IELTS language as evidence that show that you meet the job requirement.
Thank you so much. So let us stop I don't know what happened or where we got it wrong. I think when Nova Scotia news came out, some people were actually making people understand that Nova Scotia is going to sponsor them, and people just clicked to that. And I've been trying to, correct that misinformation. Nova Scotia Health is not connected with your immigration. And that's why we're organizing this kind of program. You are the one to do that yourself. And perhaps you get a license, it does not affect your immigration criteria, because IRCC will not single you out that, okay, because you have the Novascotia provisional license, don't bother about IELTS if you are going to be going for general immigration, that express entry. So it is still applicable to everyone. IRCC does not do, you are a doctor, you are a nurse. They just bring out general yardstick that we all must follow. The only thing that is different is when you want to get licensed. If you're going to get licensed as a lawyer and as a nurse, it is different. But the immigration purpose and the pathway is basically almost the same, or the same for everyone. So essential recruiter giving immigration or sponsorship package after giving job offer. I know I've answered this question.
Okay, so
say it again.
Yeah, no, I think it's also good to, I just want to make it clear that Essential Recruit is not a recruitment agency. We are a technology company, like I keep on mentioning, Indeed, and for people in Nigeria, Job Man. It's a software that we can access jobs to, and we can help provide extra services that can help you facilitate your getting a job in Canada and coming to Canada. We're not a recruitment agency, so we're not able to provide those kind of packages that usual agencies or different organizations provide. However, what we do is that we work with employers that we are advocates for nurses. So once we're speaking to employers, we try to encourage them to help you pay for immigration paperwork if they can. But however, you need to understand that there's a lot of competition for limited spaces right now. So not all employers are willing to bring that money upfront. However, when you arrive, you're able to do a few more things to compensate for the expenses that you've laid out to come to Canada as well. But on our own end, what we also try to do is that if an employer is not able to provide you immigration support from their own, we also try to provide that support to you at a very reasonable rate. And Demi is one of the people that works with us to make sure that you get the service that you need, and it's going to be I can guarantee it's going to be a very tailor-made service, because we're not just collecting money from you. I know Demi herself would most likely even ask questions from you to try to understand your situation, because every immigration pathway or every immigration is different. So we'll be able to get the right information for you to determine the best pathway for you, the best way to proceed, and the documents that we need from you to make sure that your application is successful. That is what we can do, and it's something that you have to pay for if you go through that part on the platform. But we do not give packages, because we're not a recruitment agency. We're just a technology platform trying to make lives easier for nurses to come to Canada as well.
Thank you so much. I hope we get what he's trying to say. So what he's trying to say is that, yes, we advocate for nurses, and because of that, the recruiters on the platform, essential recruit platform, they are able to provide sponsorship and the biggest support you need to come here successfully. If, however, a recruiter is actually interested in your expertise, but they cannot provide that immigration support, we also have our immigration session to help you with that at a very reasonable amount. That means that what you're going to be paying is not what you'll be getting outside of the platform. You may be paying more outside of the platform, but if you're coming through Essential Recruit and your recruiter is not responsible for your immigration support, quote and unquote, we are going to be able to help you with that. I hope that's correct. So yes, that is it. I hope we all understand now. Let me see. I think we have some more questions here. We've answered this question. It is general for immigration pathway, general IELTS. We've answered this question.
Yes, it is.
So, it's about our health service applicant help. We are not talking about AHS today, but I'll answer this quickly. So yes, AHS, the Abata Pilot Program will give you, if you are lucky and you're shortlisted, you'll be assisted with your licensure. You would work towards that yourself, but they would offset some of the bills for you, and they're also going to take care of your immigration. Yes.
Let me just add something real quick here. Also, even if you're applying for a job in Alberta and you do not have the support for immigration, or applying for a job in any other part of Canada, but you still want that someone to help you through the immigration paperwork, you can also get on the ER platform as well.
Yeah.
In the next couple of weeks, we're going to be adding that immigration, an opportunity for you to be able to pay for the immigration support through the applicant portal. Right now, we only have that immigration support on the employer portal, but we're also going to be including on the applicant portal so that you can access DEMI services or any of our services to be able to get you over the line in case you do not have that support from your employer in other parts of Canada. But also in the next couple of months as well, we're going to be expanding across Canada, onboarding different employers as well across Canada, so that you do not just need to think only about Nova Scotia, but also give you options to go to Ontario, BC, Saskatchewan if you want to, or even Nunavut if you want to. We're going to be going all across Canada to onboard all of some certain employers as well.
Thank you so much. Nikki, this is the time to get on Essential Recruit platform. Since you have started NSC pathway, get on the platform and begin your processes. Sign up on the platform. This is the right time to sign up on the platform. Verification process after application to we're not really doing NSCN today, please. We're not really talking about NSCN today, so that I can answer those ones later, but let us finish what we are here for. If I decide to go for express entry, which credential assessment platform is best for me as a nurse?
Yeah, for the ECA report, there's let me see, I think U of T is one of for designated to go through the healthcare, which is hold on, for medicals. Okay. Yeah, I think WES is the most common one. I think we can still go for that. It's based on my experience, is most fast and efficient one. If for nurse, I think the only designated professional body for assessment, that's only they only focus on 4 NOCs, which is a physician NOCs and a pharmacist NOC. So I think if you don't want to choose WES, and then the other 4 that designated ECA organization are both acceptable. The most common one is WES, is where my clients think is the easiest access. The rest of them, I think U of T one, it was the fast one too. But I think you can compare the price, whatever is easier for you.
Right, thank you so much. Yes, Mary, I already have a platform where you can discuss one-on-one with me. If you go to our business page, more consulting for INE, there's a link there to book a session with us. If you go to my Instagram page at Ife_Ofela, there's also a link to my seller account where you can book a one-on-one session with me. So we already have this in place. If you want a one-on-one session, of course, we have that in place. And if you are under the ER platform too, I think you can always get that kind of support as well. And you have me to speak to you via even the ER platform. If you are signed up to the ER platform, you can always Daniel, do we have anything like that yet? Like if they want to speak to any of us, do we have anything on the ER platform currently for the one-on-one conversation?
So it's coming in the next couple of weeks. I'll say 2 weeks, but it's going to come in the next couple of weeks. When it comes to technology, it's a bit of a tricky thing to onboard new features. So we need to test, make sure that it's stable before we implement. But we've already discussed this internally, and it's going to be put on the applicant dashboard over the next couple of weeks. So you'll be able to book meetings with case managers like Mo Consult as well, and even Demi as well, in case you want to do immigration consulting as well. You'll be able to access all of that service through the platform. So this will be coming out soon.
All right, thank you so much. For Nigerian candidates where there's no clear center, there's something we need to know, nurses. I understand, but because I don't know the best advice to give you now, there is an NCLEX center in South Africa, but if you don't have money, how do you even want to get there? How do you get to South Africa to write the NCLEX? So what I would say is we need money to move the money. Even essential recruits to put up that platform is a lot of money. So for anything you want to do in life, honestly, you need money to move the ministry, because passing an NCLEX is a big deal right now in Canada. Yes, but if you say you can't write it in Nigeria, I understand. You can't also travel. So I don't know, except you get people doing giveaway that you can win some money, and and I don't know how much they'll be willing to give you to write your NCLEX out of. But I wish you all the best, honestly. But I would say it's also doable. It is honestly, as a nurse, I feel we can make as much as we want to make. You just have to put your heart to it. Just have to put your heart to it. If you decide to take on extra job, extra shift, you just for the time being, make the money, use it for your NCLEX, then you relax after NCLEX is done. So I would say it's doable if you really want to put your heart to it.
I'm just going to add something real quick to that. No, go ahead, please. I'll wait for you.
I was just going to say, like, if you can't afford your NCLEX process right now, then sort for a job as a PSW that will get you to Canada. So once you come to Canada, then you can sort your NCLEX. Otherwise, I don't know how best to advise you.
Yes, thank you.
Yes,
That's another way. Since we're going to add that to the Essential Recruit platform, you can sign up and wait for us to, put that feature, PSW, CCA, so you can sign up for that, actually.
Yeah, and I was just going to add that to what you also said, but thank you, Peace, for adding that. But one thing I just wanted to say is that anything worth doing is worth doing well, and if you know that going abroad is going to improve your life and is going to help your family, you'll have to try. I know it's not easier said than done, but just try to find a way, look for alternative ways, research, but just remain persistent, if you want to make that dream come true. Because at the end of it, you're going to get rewarded for any of the effort or the hard effort you put into making it happen. So just look at the end game, the end just always justifies the means. So don't give up if you don't have the money, just look for a way of doing it.
Yes. Thank you so much. Honestly, we just have to always find a way. So is this correct? Daniel, please cross-check that for me, because people are asking. I just want to pin it again.
Yes,
the website.
That is it. Yeah, essentialrecruit.careers. You got it.
Well, I don't know if Jamie can do this briefly, but I don't know what you mean by step by step. Step by step is going to take a lot of time, but maybe she can do like a brief rundown for us, like a minute or two.
Okay, so think of the express entry is a swimming pool. Okay, express entry, there before entering express entry, you have to knock on 2 doors. The first level of the doors is you either meet one of 4 programs. One is Canadian experience class. For the audience, most of you here, you don't, because that requires 1 year of Canadian experience. But later on, you can move in to that. But for you, before you come into Canada, there's another category is called federal skilled worker, which is the program that you have to meet to 67 point over 100 points category. And then that's most of you here today will be entered from at the beginning with. So first you examine yourself. If you have 67 points over the 100 points based on the 6 factors they consider. Once you do meet that requirement, you enter the first door and then you knock on the second door. Second door is the point system that designated for express entry based on the factor. Same thing, but it has a total 1,200 points, which they get the points from your age, education background, whether you have a job offer in Canada, what are your previous experiences like, what's your language score is, do you have your relatives in Canada, etc. And then if you meet that requirements for these factors, for example, if you don't have a language test, you don't meet any of the factors because you can't hit in this door. And once you get your points like set up, but then you open the second door and everybody jump to this swimming pool. And then how can you get on to the land? That's based on what program they're selecting and how strong your candidate is. So if you go to the immigration website to cic.gc.ca, then you can see the history of the numbers of candidates have been pulling out every second week. Average is about thousands of people to be selected in this immigration categories every second week. And then once you get selected, you get invitation to apply letter, which you have to complete the whole immigration application within 60 days. And then the moment you put in the 60 days, the clock can start running. And then you'll, if you pass, you'll get the approval, then you become a permanent resident. If you're if you cannot prove that you have what you said in your express entry profile. For example, you're saying I have 3 years of foreign experience, but then you only can evidence 1 year. Then immigration said, I don't think you got enough points, or you're saying who you are, or you did what you did. Then they're going to refuse the application. So this is the like overall how express entry works. But if you want to go through the details, before you speaking to me, it's very clear on the immigration website. There's also the points calculators online as well that I can direct you afterwards.
Thank you so much. So let me just quickly ask this question. So are there categories of people that cannot benefit from the express entry pathway? Is the express entry pathway for everyone, regardless of your age, or are there people that cannot benefit from it? That is a no-go area for them. You don't have to try express entry. Are there that category? Do we have that category of people?
Yeah, provincial nominee is a second alternative, or the longer you're staying in Canada, then sometimes there's other ways, like during the pandemic, and there's a TR to PR pathway. Those are the special temporary program designated by the immigration that bring the healthcare workers in, right? That's has really low requirements. Things like that, it's always happening. I practiced immigrations for the past 17 years. And then, as I mentioned, all the occupations are, like we looking for skilled workers, we're looking for skilled trades. And then we are settled people from Sudan recently for refugees, right? So these, all these policy for immigration policy are changed all the time based on what happens in the world. So there's always a way to work you out. Canada welcome you, and especially when you have skills. And yeah, definitely just have this goal in your life and try your best to achieve it.
Thank you. Somebody said, can we travel with the temporary licensure, get a job while we do the NCLEX in Canada?
Yeah, as I mentioned, we have the person support worker pathway, caregiver pathway. There's always programs that to bring you to step in to become and then transfer your license to through NCLEX to become a registered nurse in Canada.
All right, but for someone that has just a temporary licensure, what are the they are open to sponsor themselves to Canada? What pathway can they employ apart from the express entry? Because that I feel that might take some time before they get that.
I think some places that as long as the employer can accept it, I think, right? I think the ER recruiter also have the employer can accept these nurses in the pathway to work as a nurse assistant or or something like that.
So, you're right, Demi. If you have a temporary license, you can, once you're interviewing for a job, once you apply for a job and you get listed, you can most likely you get brought over to Canada, maybe using a work permit or LMIA, Demi, if I'm correct. And that way, once you get in here, you can then do your NCLEX before you then write and then get your registered license as well. But I don't know if that answered the question.
Yes, Yes, so somebody is asking here that if you get a job through Essential Recruit, are they able to go with their family?
Absolutely. In fact, we always encourage our employers that, you know what, if you even have family members that even have experience in caregiving, one of our clients has indicated that, you know what, if you come with your family and you have a family member that is a caregiver, they would be happy to even employ that person as well when you come, so that they also have a job that they can also do and keep the family close. The goal is to always keep the family close because we want you to be happy as well. So
All right, thank you so much. How can someone? I've put it there several times. www.essentialrecruit.careers. I'll put it again. I've put it over 3 times already. But I also put it in the chat box when we are done. www.essentialrecruit.careers. That is the go-to place to sign up. Make sure you're signing up properly, like, without the conditional license. Yes, you can. As Daniel, can you react to this? Yes.
yes, yeah, you can get a job without the conditional license. Once you get a conditional license, please just send it to us or upload it onto your profile as well, or just indicate that you now have your license, in Canada on your profile, because that would help you get a green star or at least a yellow star, which employers always look out for when they're shortlisting people as well. But yes, you can get a job without your conditional license in place. In fact, the main reason why we created the platform was to remove any barriers that internationally educated nurses had in getting jobs in Canada, because we wanted to provide a direct link between recruiters and employers and yourselves. So that's why, like I said earlier, it's very important that you make sure your profile is up to date. You have all the right things in there, because employers are always searching through our talent pool every single time. When they see a profile that's interesting, more often times than not, they're going to invite you for an interview or look through your profile and send you a request for an interview as well.
Thank you. I just want to see if I have. Do we have any other questions for them? But I want to check through my prepared questions to see if we have answered the ones. Yes, so I think we've answered that one. What's the framework to expect if I sign up on Essential Recruit? Okay, I think we've answered that one. Just to wait, right?
Yeah, but
And
I can also still
you went
recap just for people that
okay.
were done.
Yes, you are going to recap. Then you also add the email. You said if they are experiencing trouble, there's an email. They can email something. I think I saw it on a group. Is it a must we do a
Oh yes,
video?
if you're experiencing issues, oh no, it's nothing is ever a must, but we put the video option there because we realized that a lot of employers, they also find it interesting. You can imagine a recruiter looking at job applications of hundreds,
Yeah.
everything at some point starts looking monotonous, so having a picture or a video helps break that monotony, in some sense, where they might see a video and they're like, what, that is actually quite interesting, and you're like, what, this person, maybe I should invite them because they might look like a good fit for us as well. So that's the reason why we put it there, but it's optional as well. You don't have to upload a video, but I would advise that you try to do that so that you can also make your application even stand out even more. The video doesn't have to be of you sitting in front of a computer and saying, or in front of a phone and saying, my name is Zaza. It can just be that you just showing your passion for the job. I've been on Instagram and a couple of the social media platforms, and I see a lot of nurses. They post a lot of really interesting content, educative content about nursing, about how happy they are in their job. I would encourage anyone, if you have any of those sort of videos on any of the social media, put it on there, because that creates excitement. That shows the love that you have for your job, and I think it's going to be a good thing to put your best foot forward at every time. But just to recap on the process, through Essential Recruit. So once you go to the platform, you need to just click on I need a job. It's very important that you try to complete the sign-on process in one swoop, because if you do not create your password before leaving the site, your account could get locked out, and you might need certain costs to be able to reset your account. But once you get over creating your password, we've created a set of custom onboarding questions, and essentially those onboarding questions is just to help us determine your eligibility, and more importantly, help you create a very beautiful one-page resume that we can send to employers on your behalf as well. So just once you go through the set of onboarding questions, upload all your documents, upload your specialties, you go to your dashboard where you can also click on the job board to apply to any job that you want. And over the next couple of weeks, there's going to be an introduction of a resources tab on your dashboard where you're going to be able to see and access resources around immigration, around licensure support, around just general things that will just make your life easier in getting that transition done. But that is pretty much the cycle. And once you apply for jobs on the employer side, they see these jobs and they go through the applications almost every other week. And what they do is that they pick 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, depending on the amount of people they're looking to employ at a given time. And they request for interviews. And once they request for an interview with you or reject your application, the platform will send you a notification so that you are very aware of what is going on. So if you've not gotten a notification from a job you've applied for, I think that is actually a good thing, because it's saying that you've not been at least rejected. Because once you're rejected, you would.
Daniel, are you done?
Done.
I'm
done now, yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah. Okay. Can we join yes, you can join the express entry pool now, because you don't have to wait till you can also sign up on Essential Recruit now. That's the main aim of doing this program today. Sign up on Essential Recruit so that you can get the required immigration support that you would need. You can sign up on Essential Recruit and maybe
just add this. Okay. Let me just add this proverb that is a very popular proverb. I'm sure everyone will know. There's always this proverb that says the best time to plant a tree is yesterday. The second best time is now. So like Nasifa is saying, if you've not started the process, it's okay. You don't need to panic. There's this coming. If you're lucky with the opportunity to come to Canada as well, the best time to start that process is now. If you've not started it as well.
All right, thank you. When I try creating an account and I go to the video session, it tells me to do the video for me to have a complete profile.
It's not saying, I don't think it's saying you need to do the video to have a complete profile. It's just encouraging you to have the video up there. But even if you don't have the video up there, it doesn't count against you as not having a complete profile. But like I said, I've been on the other side of shortlisting applicants, and I've seen that a lot of profiles that have videos or profile pictures usually gets the attention of recruiters first, So it's always something I would try to encourage people to get the video as well, if they can. But if you cannot, no pressure at all. You can just put up your profile picture, and more importantly, make sure that you have your licenses displayed, you have your specialties displayed, your years of experience, all of the good stuff. Just put it on your profile.
Agree with that. It's just encouraging you. It's not I have a visiting visa. Yeah. So what do you intend to do with the visa? You need to do something. You can sign up on Essential Recruit. You can, start looking for a job, maybe a sponsorship for you for PSW. Demi, can you react to that?
Yeah, for people who has a visitor visa, right now the temporary policy allows a visitor visa holder in Canada apply for work permit. However, these work permit are employer designated, means that you have to have an employer sponsor you to transfer your visitor status within Canada to become a temporary foreign worker. And in order for you to do that, you need to sign up for Essential Recruiter, because that will help you efficiently find an employer who would be able to support you to transfer status from visitor to a foreign worker.
Yes, thank you so much. Somebody's saying, let me see, I'm stuck at creating password. Yes, Daniel, what about the other email if they are experiencing trouble? There was one email that
Okay.
you mentioned one time.
So the email is hello@essentialrecruit.careers. So pretty much the website, but hello@essentialrecruit.careers. Once, if you're stuck at creating a password, please try to use your laptop instead of your mobile first, because the mobile part of the platform is quite unstable right now due to the surge of applications we've been getting. But if you can use your laptop to access the site, please try to do that. However, if you try to still use the laptop and you're still going through those problems, just send us an email through hello@essentialrecruit.careers, and we'll forward that request to the team to reset your account so that you can try to log in again.
All right, thank you so much. So once we're done with this live, I'm going to pin all the necessary links beneath this video. You can also check all my social media platforms. I'll pin it there. People are saying it's not going through, it's not going through. I'm going to pin everything there. For express entry, do I need to have proof of fund ready before applying, or will I be told when to provide this proof of fund?
Only if you apply through the federal skilled worker stream. If you're outside of Canada, yes, you have to meet the fund requirements.
So they're also asking when they should get the proof of fund ready.
The proof of fund has to be available the moment you're in the profile.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much. Email for further communication. I just dropped the email for Essential Recruit, hello@essentialrecruit.careers. I just dropped the email. That's the email for further if you need help and assistance. Please try first on your own, because if you all send email, then I don't know when we're going to get a response. So try
Yes,
first on your own.
Yeah, I was gonna say that we've been getting so many emails, especially since the policy kicked in. So, but we are doing our best to attend to each of these emails. But please just be patient. We're very happy to serve you. So you can still send us the emails, but just bear with us as we take our time to make sure that we're able to attend to each one of those emails as well.
Thank you so much. So yeah, that's it. Let me see. I want to check if I have taken all my written down questions. So let us talk about provincial nomination separately. I think we'll be talking about express entry a lot more. Let's talk about provincial nomination and Atlantic pilot programs.
Okay. For the provincial nominee program, and again, it's different as the AIP, the Atlantic one. For example, that's use Nova Scotia as an example today only. Nova Scotia has because of how essential the healthcare workers are to Nova Scotia these days. So Nova Scotia actually have the point system that adding to the express entry, which is a federal program that's given people who are already in the express entry pool has to be able to select it and apply to Nova Scotia. Extra 600 points will boost you to be selected to apply for immigration right away. That's one of the program that Nova Scotia is temporarily poaching. On the other hand, Nova Scotia also has this category under the provincial nominee program, which for nurses or healthcare workers who has designated employer willing to support them to apply through directly to Nova Scotia province. And the requirements is more or less the same. However, the language is a little bit different. If for people who apply through the express entry, they ask for CLB 7, which is equivalent around 6.0 for each category of listening, reading, and writing and oral. So, but for provincial nominee program, I think is lower to CLB 5, which is is about a 0.5. And otherwise, having a designated employer or has the employer in line definitely is the best choice for healthcare workers to come to Canada. That's why how important the essential recruiter taking place in this process. Lots of we usually immigrants coming to Canada, they experiencing how can I secure a job? And then employers also facing the problem, how can I find a qualified people can stay longer with us? Because some people that have more choices, then they will switch employers very frequent. That causes the issue of the employer to retain these people in their workforce. Hiring temporary foreign worker, no matter which program you go through, you're looking at to give a commitment for this employer who's willing to sponsor you to come to Canada at least 2 to 3 years of working. And then because of this duration of work, you're not only gain Canadian experience, but also you're helping yourself to go through the rest of the immigration process, which is a win-win to both you and the employer. That's why Nova Scotia, right now, among all the other provinces, are the best choice for the professionals like you in front of the seminar today to come. And they give you all the opportunities for you to have your professional designations to be recognized in the province, and then for you to step into Canada. I think with the essential recruiters' help, your immigration process can be very smooth and faster than what you're looking right now by yourself. Do it by yourself.
Yes, thank you so much. Can RN with less than 6 months experience apply with essential recruits?
Yes, absolutely. I think the thing is, once you create an account, just put your experience at 1 year, because more oftentimes than not, especially if you're outside the country, if you have 6 months, by the time you go through immigration and all of the whole licensure stuff, I'm sure you already have a full year of experience. So you can even start with a 1 year experience and get your profile on the website. Because I think a lot of the employers that we currently have on the website are looking for a minimum 1 year experience, but you should be able to fit in that category, especially since you already have 6 years. 6 months rather.
When can we start visa process? Start now. Sign up on Essential Recruit. Start now. I don't know why. Start now. Why do you want to wait?
So just to add to that as well, depending on the pathway that you're looking to come with. If you're looking to come with a work visa or an LMIA, you most likely need to get a job first. Demi, please correct me if I'm wrong. Right? I'm right? Okay, yeah. So you most likely need to get a job first before you start the visa process for work permit or LMIA. But if you're trying to come with the express entry, you don't need to wait to get a job. So you can actually start that from now.
Can I use OETs for UK? I've said it severally.
No, as I mentioned, Canada immigration only recognized for English from the third party is the IELTS and the CELPIPE. CELPIPE can only so far can only done within Canada. So IELTS is the choice for you.
Thank you. Somebody is. Can we use a sponsor account for immigration, for example, a relation? I don't know what you mean by that.
No, I think that's a very good question. Basically, what I believe that what she's asking is that if you have a sponsor that wants to sponsor your immigration, can you use their own bank account as a proof of funds?
Oh,
I'm
okay.
guessing that's what she's asking. So I'm thinking Demi will be the best person to answer that question.
No. Settlement. Okay. I see what you mean. Okay, if you have a sponsor, no. For the federal skilled worker program, no, not really. Unless you get LMA designated, that shows that you which we called arranged employment, which means that the employer's a commitment to offer you a job, which would be able to support you all the way through. As soon as you're landing in Canada and then you start working, then that's can only way to show you, but that's based on the positive labor market impact assessment that your potential employers offered. Alternatively, if you work in Canada for over 12 months, which you can also meet the requirements for another stream, which called the Canadian Experience Class. Through that stream, the settlement fund will not be required for applying immigration under express entry.
All right. Thank you so much. Somebody, is essential recruit all in uppercase? I'm trying to look for that question. Because whether you put it in uppercase or lowercase, honestly, you should be able to connect. You should be able to get the website, right? Whether it's in uppercase or lowercase. Daniel.
I believe so. I'm just about to check that. I've never put it in uppercase before, but I'm just trying to.
Okay. I think I've checked.
I'm just trying to verify that. But yes, it should still go. It's essentialrecruits.career. So that's ESSENTIALRECRUIT .careers, and that is CAREERS.
Okay. Thank you. Somebody's asking, can we do express entry and LMIA pathway together? Demi?
Can we do express entry? Yeah, it doesn't conflict to each other. LMA will add 50 points to your express entry profile. However, you have to meet one of the categories in order for you to jump into the express entry pool.
Okay. Thank you so much. We are going to round up soon, like very shortly. In about 5 minutes or so, we should be rounding up. I don't intend to keep us. Can one with IELTS academic result be used for immigration? No, it has to be general. Academic is for licensure and all these regulated professionals. General is for immigration. Can we still write IELTS after securing a job?
Yes, you can. Each test valid for 2 years for you eventually apply for immigration. As long as in the validation of your test, it will work. Same 2 years timeline applied to education credential assessment.
Okay. Is there any age limit for nurses willing to migrate to Canada?
Not necessarily, but it's like a labor demand job, right? As long as you'll be able to capable to work, Canada that we need people for the retirement. You're not coming here just for retirement, right?
Yes, thank you so much. So do we have any other question for essential recruits? Because if you're going to have, before you have them like this sit with you next time, you may have to pay for consultation. Though the platform is free for you to sign up at any time, any day. But I'm saying if you want to have a private conversation this way, then I'm not sure it's going to be free for you to have a private conversation this way with the consultant. So if you have further questions for essential recruits, please drop it. I don't want to keep us too much here. I think they pretty much answered all my own question at my end. So the website again is www.essentialrecruits.careers. If I get a job, do I need proof of funds to apply for work permit?
No. The proof of funds for the purpose to at the beginning of your work permit application, we usually want to see how strong ties you still have with you back home, right? End of the day, it's a still temporary application. It's like you have to show after duration of your work permit, if you not be able to acquire your immigration status, then you still have the ties for you to go back to your own country. Not necessarily found, but if you have a house, your property back home that under your name, that also show the strong ties for you. And some people come here just for work, and they have their spouse back home, like pursuing study. That's also show the strong ties you have back home. So the funds is not necessary, but it's definitely one of the factors we want to show that you have the money to motivate you to return your home country if you're after the duration of your temporary stay as a worker in Canada.
Many people will vote for LMIA.
LMA is actually application by the employer, is not yours. LMA is to show that the employer has the needs and capable to support a foreign worker. So
Yeah.
that application has nothing to do with you. It's all because of the employer be able to hire temporary foreign worker. And once the employer gets the positive labor market impact assessment, and which you can use it to for your work permit application. So the funds is irrelevant with that application for you.
What specialty can RM choose on essential? What do you have on the drop down? What do you have there? Because there should be a place for you to actually safely say that you're a registered nurse. Or am I getting your question wrong? Daniel, do you understand that question?
We have absolutely almost all the specialties that most nurses are required to have. So if you click on the drop down, you see a host of different specialties, from geriatrics to critical care to mother and baby to everything that you probably need. And I think there might be an option for you to even include one type manually one if it's not included there. But more oftentimes than not, we have all the specialties on the onboarding questions for you to be able to pick one from.
What is your question, Ijebo? What is your question? That's the question I just put out now. Are you not Ijebo? Is that not your name? That's your question. And we just answered your question. Please throw more light on Atlantic Pilot. We have answered that Atlantic Pilot. Maybe you catch a replay. Please. We've answered. She has answered it, I think, twice now. So you can catch a replay on that. So I think we're leaving now. I don't think I have any more. I think I've answered all the questions. Ijebo, we've answered your question. Thank you so much. Yeah, so anybody can still catch a replay. Don't forget to sign up, www.essentialrecruit.careers. And if you're going to send an email, hello@essentialrecruit.careers, right? So Daniel, you need to pay me for PR. I already know your email. Just these few minutes.
No, definitely you're one of us. So definitely.
Yes, I know. Yes, don't forget. I'm going to pin it on my social media platforms, please. And you can always ask me any question about Essential Recruit. After today, if you still have questions, ask me. Don't worry, I can get to Daniel and I can get to Demi without consultation fee, so I can question for you.
That's true.
So let me know. Require band score for general. I don't have it in my head right now. Demi, do you have it anywhere?
For general IELTS, require band score. Depending on which program you're looking at, I would suggest minimum 6, and if you go up to 8, you're definitely good to go. But minimum 6.
Okay, all right. Let's take this question for the last one. Peace, if you're still here, I'd like you to answer this question. Although if you sign up with Essential Recruit, are we going to limit our job search to BC alone? Well, if you already signed with BC, I don't know. I don't think Essential Recruit.
And just to add to this question, right now we do not recruit for any organization outside of Nova Scotia. That's because the platform was just recently launched in February. So we're still piloting it with a lot of the organizations that we are partnered with here in Nova Scotia. However, in the coming weeks and the coming months, we are rapidly going to be expanding across Canada. So you can create your profile on Essential Recruit, apply to the jobs there. But even if you do not want to move to Nova Scotia, once we start having more jobs, you'll get notified of newer jobs that are coming in other parts of Canada. And you can also apply to those when they come up. Remember to just treat Essential Recruit like Indeed. It's like, you have so many jobs popping every single time on Indeed. You can apply to some and sometimes you get called, you don't get called, but at the same time, you keep checking to get more updates on newer jobs that you can apply to. So just keep that in mind. But I can assure you that the team is working behind the scenes very hard, day and night, even on weekends. In fact, after this session, I'm going for an in-person meeting because we're trying to see how we can get as many reputable employers across Canada on the platform as quickly as possible, so that you can have as many options to choose from.
Yes.
Sorry, Ife. Also remember your license angle. So if you're thinking about leaving BC, you would have to transfer your license. So don't forget that.
All right.
And that's something that through Essential Recruit, you can also facilitate over the next couple of weeks as well.
Honestly, Essential Recruit, I love every bit of when I would first had connection with Danny and he told me the vision. I see that's something very huge and really helpful for the international educated community. It's really, I love the vision. I love everything they're trying to put in place. Imagine trying to make sure that employers give you accommodation, trying to make sure that employers are able to bring you over. And if they cannot, we have immigration consultants that can offer you same service at a very reduced price, very reduced rate, with our 247 assessment to us, the team. Then for the licensure part, you have no problem. More consulting is fully on ground for your licensure aspect. So I tell you that Essential Recruit is the way to go platform. And we have for everybody, we're going to be adding more recruiters over the months now. We're going to be adding more countries. So honestly, I'll say, sorry, it's something that everyone should sign up on. It's what I would do gladly because I have nothing to, you have a lot to gain and nothing to lose, really. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining us today. Thank you, Jamie. I really have an awesome time with you. Thank you, Daniel. Thank you so much. Daniel, don't worry. I don't know. I think girls are already eyeing you here because we have a lot of we had good turn up. We had over 200 people in the studio. So we had very good turn up today, and they're all saying thank you. They're all saying thank you. So I hope that you sign up. When you sign up, if you have any question, yes, we already spoke about CV. Princeville does CV, but if you sign up on Essential Recruit, we do a CV for you, right?
Yeah, it's free and automatic on the Essential Recruit platform. Your profile is essentially your resume on the Essential Recruit platform, and that's why once you want to apply to a job on the Essential Recruit platform, all you need is one click, because we wanted to make the process as easy, as seamless for you. Because like I said, nurses are dear to my heart, and anything I can do to make that process easy for them is what we want to do. So it's very crucial that when you go through the onboarding questions, try to put as much information there, is because it's those information that we take into consideration and considers into a one-pager resume to send to recruiters on your behalf as well.
Yes, thank you. You can hear he said nurses are very dear to his heart. So let's give him a nurse wife so that when you are trying to do it online, like you go in the bedroom with them, like, do my make sure you get them jobs. So we need Daniel a nurse wife.
Oh my god.
So that she can advocate for us more. This person is asking, well, we have to wait for Novascotia, please, to tell you when to send it to them. And it's not, you are going to a country, you don't even know the spelling, Grace. You should know the spelling of the country you are going to. That's how to, be intentional about what we do. Because somebody may ask you what you're doing and then you're not pronouncing it and they're like, are you sure you're really doing this process? So we need to pay attention to all those things. Yes.
And also, if please, this person should not email anything to Nova Scotia. They will not be taking your CIRC directly from you. There is an online option there for you to do your police check. So go to their website and find the online option for your police check.
Yes, and we aim to do more live session on Instagram. So keep in touch with our business page, more consulting for IE. We'll do more live session where we can answer your questions and randomly will just come online like that. So everybody, they're saying thank you so much. They really enjoyed the show. And thank you so much, everyone. You can also follow Daniel on LinkedIn. I think he posts something. What's your LinkedIn profile? Daniel Moka, right?
Yes, it's just Daniel Moka. So you can find me on LinkedIn on Daniel Moka. So that's Daniel. And then my surname is Moka. So that's Morka.
You're from Edo State, right?
No, from Delta, but my mom is Edo, so all the same.
Okay. I'm just giving the potential wives some Daniel, I'm very positive you get to marry.
To be honest, I'm open to it.
All right. Thank you so much. Thank you, More Consulting. Thank you, Peace. Thank you, Essential Recruit. I had a good time. Thank you, everyone. So bye for now from me and from our team. We hope to hear from you and to see you all in Canada. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.